Arsenal set for key Bruno Guimaraes update, with talks expected over £80 million transfer. Bruno Guimaraes is preparing for a return to Newcastle amid ongoing speculation over a potential move to Arsenal. The 28-year-old is a top target for the Gunners, who have held talks with Guimaraes' representatives in recent weeks and received encouragement that a deal could be done. However, Newcastle are determined to keep hold of Guimaraes and insist no club-to-club talks have taken place yet. Those are expected to begin, with Arsenal ready to step up their interest and directly approach Newcastle. It is understood that it would take a fee of around £80 million for the Magpies to enter into negotiations with Arsenal. Newcastle have already sold Anthony Gordon and Sandro Tonali this summer, and losing their captain as well would be a big blow. Guimaraes is believed to have told Newcastle he wants to leave this summer, but he's yet to meet face-to-face with Eddie Howe or club executives. The midfielder is still on holiday. They're being given time off following Brazil's last 16 exit to Norway at the World Cup on July 5. Players are given a mandatory 21 days off over the summer. That takes Guimaraes up to this weekend and means this is his final week of holiday before his attention turns back to club matters. He's expected to report back at Newcastle for the start of his pre-season next week. As it stands, Guimaraes will then be involved in Newcastle's training camp in La Monga, starting on July 31st, and he could then play against Valencia on August 8th. Arsenal will also be in Spain next week. They take on Girona on August 1st in the first official pre-season friendly of the summer. Newcastle will hope there is no repeat of the saga involving Alexander Isak last summer. The striker eventually joined Liverpool, but not before he had a standoff with the club and trained away from the first team for weeks. Newcastle frustrated by Arsenal's pursuit of Bruno Guimaraes and will demand transfer fee of £80 million for captain. Bruno Guimaraes has told Newcastle he wants to join Arsenal, but the Gunners are yet to make direct contact over signing him. Sky Sports News reporter Keith Downey: Arsenal need to come to the table and show for the colour of their money. Newcastle are frustrated with Arsenal's pursuit of Bruno Guimaraes and will only consider selling him for upwards of £80 million, according to Sky Sports News North East reporter Keith Downey. The Brazil international has told his club he wants to join Arsenal this summer, but Downey says that, contrary to recent reports, the Gunners still haven't made contact with Newcastle directly. Arsenal have instead explored the conditions of a deal through intermediaries, an approach which has left Newcastle frustrated as they try to gauge whether their interest is genuine. Downey expects the saga to continue, but insists Newcastle are determined to keep their captain and value him at over £80 million, only £20 million less than his former teammate Sandro Tonali, who they sold to Spurs for £100 million earlier this month. He's ambitious. He wants to win trophies. He doesn't want to end his career, having only won the Carabao Cup and potentially another cup with Newcastle. Newcastle aren't going to win the Premier League. He wants to win titles. He wants to have the opportunity to do that. But Arsenal need to come to the table and show Newcastle the colour of their money.